I stood in my daughter's kitchen, holding a cracked coffee cup with trembling hands. 43 years married, 43 certain I knew the man beside me. Then Tuesday, March 12th, 2024, split my life clean down the middle. My husband had a second family, 6 blocks away from us. My name is Margaret. I'm 67, and until 3 months ago, I thought I had the perfect life. Robert and I met in college, married in 1982, built what I believed was unshakable. 2 children, Daniel, 39, Sophie, 36. Robert was an insurance adjuster, always home by 6:30, always kissing my forehead before bed. Or so I thought. December 17th, during our Christmas party, a strange woman appeared at our door. Younger, early 50s, with hauntingly familiar eyes. "Is Robert home?" Her voice shook. Robert materialized behind me, his face leached of color. "Wrong house," he said, all but ushering her off the porch. "You have the wrong Robert." I didn't think much of it. Mistaken identity happens. But her eyes stayed with me, recognition mixed with pain. February brought mysterious phone calls. Robert stepped outside into freezing air, whispering urgently. I'd watch through the kitchen window, his breath making small clouds, that metallic winter smell seeping through the glass. "Difficult client," he'd say, fingers red from cold. I believed him. 43 years of trust doesn't evaporate overnight. But that animal instinct in your gut, that knowing something's wrong even when your mind makes excuses, I felt it. Thursday, March 7th, the shower roared down the hall. On the counter, his iPad, glowing faintly warm under my fingertips. I tapped it, passcode 1982, our wedding year. The thread dropped out from under me like a trapdoor. "Did you pick up milk?" 7:14 p.m. "The kids need new shoes." 9:22 a.m. "I'll be home late tonight." 6:47 p.m. Someone named Jay. Hundreds of messages stretching back years. Photos appeared: Robert with a woman and 2 teenagers at graduation. Robert blowing out candles with strangers. Robert being a father. Again, the bathroom door opened. Steam rolled out. Robert saw me, saw the iPad. The color drained from him, lips to fingertips. Margaret. Just my name. Who are they? He sat at our kitchen table, the one we'd refinished together, and told me everything. 25 years ago, he had an affair with Jennifer Morrison. She got pregnant with twins Marcus and Lily. Robert decided to support them, be their father, build a second family while keeping the first. "I couldn't abandon them," he whispered. "But I couldn't lose you either." I thought I was preventing harm by dividing it. The architecture of that lie was meticulous. 2 calendars, 1 life split clean down the middle. While I folded his laundry, he helped other children with homework 6 blocks away. While I planned vacations, he attended their soccer games and recitals. Here's how. Wednesday nights were insurance meetings, dinners at Maple Street. Saturday mornings coaching Little League Marcus's baseball. Sunday afternoons on church committees, Lily's piano recitals. Different service hours at different churches. Grocery runs 2 neighborhoods over. Every holiday site visit was actually their celebrations. The money? A second account under his mother's maiden name. Cash bonuses never deposited in our joint account. Life insurance policies I never saw. Our tax returns listed A. Professional investment portfolio, Schedule B. That was Lily's college fund. But that's not the worst part. The following Thursday, I followed him. He pulled into a driveway on Maple Street. Our street is Oak. 6 blocks, that's all that separated his two worlds. I sat under a streetlight that buzzed like an angry wasp. Through the window, Jennifer opened the door. Robert kissed her a real kiss that said, "I'm home." Then 2 young adults appeared, hugging him like he was their universe. My heart shattered. Then I saw their faces clearly. Marcus had Daniel's exact nose, his smile, the way his shoulders lifted when he laughed. Lily could have been Sophie's twin, same cheekbones, same habit of tucking hair behind her left ear, same way of gripping her coffee mug. I was pounding on that door before I knew it. Cold air bit my knuckles. Jennifer opened. Fear bloomed in her eyes. She knew who I was. She'd always known. "How could you?" I screamed. "How could both of you do this?" Robert came to the door, hands up. "Margaret, please." Jennifer's mouth moved. The words reached me slow, like underwater. He said, "You knew." The porch leaned. The sensor light hummed overhead. My name slipped out of my mouth and went nowhere. "What?" "He told me you two had an open marriage," she continued, voice cracking. "That you didn't mind, that you'd agreed to this years ago." I looked at Robert. Guilt covered his face like a mask. He'd lied to her too. For 25 years, Jennifer thought I'd given my blessing. She thought I was somewhere being equally happy with my own arrangement. Marcus and Lily appeared behind their mother, understanding dawning on their faces like a horrible sunrise. "Dad?" Marcus's voice broke. "She didn't know about us." Robert couldn't look at his son or at his daughter. I stumbled to my car, hands numb, and drove to Sophie's house. Ended up in her kitchen with that cracked cup, trying to find words for the unspeakable. Sophie called Daniel immediately. I told my children everything. They had half-siblings they'd never met. 39 and 36 years of their lives built on lies. Daniel laughed, not from joy, from complete psychological break. "This can't be real. Dad goes to church. Dad coaches baseball. Dad wouldn't." Sophie went through tears, then rage. She grabbed her phone and screamed things I'd never heard my gentle daughter say. Robert moved out. Not to Jennifer's, she kicked him out the same night. He got an apartment on 5th Street, alone. Both families had rejected him. I met with Patricia Chen, a lawyer Sophie recommended. She sat with kind eyes and a yellow legal pad. "First, we change all beneficiaries on life insurance. Then, divide the pension. The house stays yours purchased before his second arrangement." Hearing it in legal terms made it real in a terrible new way. 2 weeks later, I received a handwritten letter from Marcus and Lily. "Dear Mrs. Patterson, we're sorry for existing. We didn't know. We thought you knew about us and were okay with it. We understand if you hate us. We never meant to cause you pain." I read it 17 times. These children, because they were children when this started, were apologizing for being born. Sophie found me in the garden, letter still in my hand. "Mum, they're innocent in this. They didn't choose this any more than we did. And honestly, I want to meet them. They're my brother and sister." Last Tuesday, April 16th, exactly 5 weeks after my world ended, we all met at Corner Brew Coffee Shop, halfway between Oak and Maple. Me, Daniel, Sophie, Marcus, and Lily. It was awkward, painful, and somehow healing. Marcus has Daniel's humor, dry, unexpected. When silence got heavy, he said, "This is the weirdest family reunion I've ever been to. I once went to one where my uncle brought his pet raccoon." We laughed. God help us, we actually laughed. Lily has Sophie's kindness. When I started crying, I couldn't help it. Seeing them together, she reached across the table and put her hand on mine. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. They're good people who grew up thinking their situation was normal, was accepted. They're victims of the same man's selfishness. We're not one big happy family. We'll never be. Robert destroyed something irreparable. Trust, once shattered like this, leaves scars that don't fade. I filed for divorce 3 weeks ago. 43 years, reduced to legal documents. Patricia says it'll be final by summer. Jennifer and I talked once, briefly. Over the phone, because I wasn't ready to see her face. She's hurting too. 25 years believing she was in an open relationship, only to discover she was the other woman. At night, when Robert left, she never asked. She didn't want to know. The children, all 4 of them, are building their own relationships now. Slowly, carefully. They meet for lunch at that same coffee shop. Daniel and Marcus both love fly fishing. Sophie and Lily discovered they share a favorite novel, The English Patient. They're forming bonds that have nothing to do with Robert or me. As for me, I'm learning to live in this new reality. Some mornings I wake and forget for exactly 3 seconds. Then I remember, and the wave crashes. I look back at those 43 years and wonder what was real. Did Robert truly love me? Or was I just the original choice he couldn't quite abandon? Trust calcifies into routine. Year after year, patterns harden until you can't see through them anymore. I wasn't blind, I was calcified. The house on Oak Street feels too big now, too many ghosts. Sophie says, I could get a condo downtown, start fresh, build something that's only mine. People keep asking if I hate Robert. Honestly, I don't have room for hate. I'm too busy grieving the marriage I thought I had, grieving the man I thought I knew. But what makes me angriest? He was good at being their father. He showed up. He remembered birthdays. He coached baseball and attended recitals, which means he was capable of being present. He just chose to split himself in half rather than be honest with anyone. Could you forgive something like this after decades of marriage? Could you sit across from those children and see them as innocent? Could you rebuild anything from those ashes? I'm still figuring out my answers. Last week, I took my wedding ring off. It sat on the bathroom counter for 3 days before I could put it in a drawer. 43 years of wear left a groove in my finger. The skin there is pale, unfinished, waiting to remember what being free feels like. I'm 67 and I'm starting over. Learning who Margaret is without Robert, without the life I thought I had. The kids want me to join them Tuesday for coffee. All 4 of them, a regular thing, every other week, building something new from the wreckage. I think I'll go. Not because I've forgiven Robert, I haven't, and maybe I never will. Not because the pain is gone, it's still there every morning. But because those 4 people sitting around that table are innocent, and they're trying, and maybe that's enough to start with. My map is blank again. Oak Street is still there. Maple Street is still there. But the distance between them, those 6 blocks, is finally honest. Oak is where I learned to stay. Maple is where I learned to leave. Between them, at last, only the truth. Was I a fool to trust so completely? To never suspect 43 years of carefully constructed lies? Tell me in the comments, because I'm still learning the difference between love and willful blindness.